Hi, welcome. I'm Busfame, aka Trevin, and I'm gonna go through some books that I want to read in 2025 and some other updates. Currently, I'm currently reading Words of Radiance, and I am 50% done with it. It's only 500 pages, halfway. Could have read like four other books instead, but I picked this one. So I'll be giving some, I guess, a halfway review on that. I think I'm gonna do a spoiler section too, but I'll make sure to title it and everything. But yeah, I want to talk about Stormlight Archive, and I got a lot of books that I own that I haven't read yet. Hopefully, some of you can relate. I tend to do that a lot. But who doesn't like going to buy a book and keeping it and not reading it for years? So I pick a lot because I'm not a very organized reader. I kind of just read whatever I'm in the mood for, and sometimes that means like 6 books at once. I'm currently reading, I think, 4 right now. I'm reading Words of Radiance, Martyr, The Employees, Dungeon Crawler Carl, and a few others, which is actually going to be on my list that I'm going to show you right now for my 2025 reads. And yeah, so I don't have a set order or anything like that, but I have them all here. So like I said, I'm not going to order them like for like last time. I'm just kind of just going to show them as I go along. A lot of them I did get for birthdays and Christmas and stuff, and I've been really wanting to read them, but I just haven't yet. And I feel like the Stormlight Archive is kind of prohibiting other books right now. But one of them is Bone. You might know what this is if you read comics in middle school, but this is the complete edition of it. It's every single one, and I used to be obsessed with this series in high school or middle school. It follows this little bone guy from a bone village. Him and his friends kind of get kicked out from the bone village, Boneville, I think it's called, and they start adventuring in places that they shouldn't be, and slowly getting tagged along in this very grand journey, very fantasy, with a lot of secrets, a lot of mystery, a lot of twists and turns, and it's so good. I read like halfway, I think, already. Like I said, it's a comic book, so it's pretty easy to read, but I absolutely love the book. I think it's a must read if you like comic books, which I don't read a lot of comic books. I read a lot of manga, but Bone is a must read for sure. All right, and then the next one. If you watched my last video, you know that Piranesi is probably my favorite book ever. I think it. I'm still not. It's hard for me to pick favorites, but let's just say it is. And Susanna Clark, she only has like 2 books, and the first one is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It's a pretty big book, 800 pages ish. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is set in a alternate universe, kind of like England esque. I'm pretty sure around the 1800s, and there's magic, but not really anymore. So there's these magicians, sort of, that are trying to revise magic, trying to see what happened to it. I guess there used to be a lot, and now it disappeared. That's kind of all I know about it. The book cover is like insane though. It makes me want to read it just because of that. I very much judge a book by its cover. And this one's just beautiful. Sometimes I'll just get books just based off the cover. And I can't wait to read it because I loved Piranesi. I loved it so much. I love her writing. It's so cool. She just... It's like reading... She makes you think that it's like real life. Like you're not reading a fictional book. Like, yeah, this happened. Magic in England. And I can't wait to read it. It just sucks that... Well, it doesn't suck, but it's a long book. And I'm reading a lot of long books right now. And then I actually read about a quarter of this already. It's a pretty popular book right now and series called Dungeon Crawler Carl. I love it so far. I kind of paused it though to continue reading Words of Radiance. I really just want to get finish that before I read some other things. But I did start this and I think it's amazing. It's so funny. Such a cool idea. Let me just read the inside little info box of what it's about. You know what's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend? Being stuck with her prize-winning show cat. And you know what's worse than that? An alien invasion, the destruction of all man-made structures on Earth, and the systematic exploitation of all the survivors for a sadistic intergalactic game show. That's what. Join Coast Guard vet Carl and his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, as they try to survive the end of the world, or just get to the next level, in a video game like trap-filled fantasy dungeon. A dungeon that's actually the set of a reality television show with countless viewers across the galaxy. Exploding goblins, magical potions, deadly drug-dealing llamas. This ain't your ordinary game show. That's it. It's such a cool premise, such a cool book cover. I would rate this cover a 8 out of 10. I realized I didn't rate the other ones because I didn't know I was doing that until just now. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, 9 out of 10. It's a bit minimal, but I like it. Bone, I feel like it sets a good vibe for the series. It is a minimal again, but like a 7 out of 10. And my next book, Stoner. I did pick this up a while ago because it was kind of trending, and I haven't heard about it before. John Williams. It's about, from what I remember, I did read it, but I have to reread it. It's been almost a year. It's about a farm boy, set a couple decades ago, and I think maybe 60s. I'm not sure. I'll fact check it, but it's a farm boy who gets accepted in a college, and then I believe he's not sure what he wants to do, but then he figures out that he likes, I think, teaching or architecture. I can't remember which one, but I keep seeing Book Talk and BookTube reviews of the book, and everyone's just praising it, saying it's their favorite book. And it's only 300 pages, so I'd like to get this one down for the month. For the year, I meant. I'm not reading this in a month. But the cover is pretty cool. It's kind of like it's one of those like classic ones. 6 out of 10. Alright, the next book. Gideon the Ninth. Lesbian necromancers explore a haunted Gothic palace in space. I mean, how do you not want to read that? I've been hearing a lot of praise for this book recently. It's supposed to be a lot of fun. I think it gives off similar vibes to Red Rising, maybe. Or I've heard, like, if you like this book, read this book. And this one eventually came along to it. The your favorite characters, what book they are, or what book they would love and stuff. And I saw one for Arcane, and I thought they did it like so well. Every single book matched the character so well. And Vi was Gideon the Ninth, and that alone just makes me want to read it. I've heard it's good. I don't know like anything else about it besides the one sentence I said earlier. Cover though, something left to be desired. I don't like it at all, but I'll still read it. And then I got another short book. It's a spooky one. Carmilla. Carmilla. I think I'm saying it right. Very old book. I'm pretty sure this inspired Dracula. It's barely 100 pages. I could probably read this in one sitting. The cover is amazing though, and the texture on it is so cool. I haven't read Dracula yet. I still want to. And this one is a woman, and I think it's kind of like the Nosferatu movie. She falls in love with another girl, and she's a vampire. That's kind of all I know about it. Very influential for vampires and spookiness, so I really want to read this one. And then I got starting some classics here. 100 Years of Solitude. I've been wanting to read this for a while. I did start it. I only made it a few pages and then did something else. I can't remember. But this is, I know a lot of people's favorite books. I know it's Emma, or Emmy, I think her name is. Emmy Reads. You probably have seen her if you watch BookTube. I know she praises this book a lot, and I really like her opinion and trust her opinion. And I know this is being made into a Netflix show or movie. I don't know if I'm gonna watch that, but I'd like to read it before then. I don't really know much about the book. The top thing it says is that it's one of the most influential literary books of our time. 100 Years of Solitude remains a dazzling and original achievement by the masterful Gabriel Garcia Marquez, winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature. It kind of feels like I just have to read it, you know? Winning the Nobel Prize, so much praise. The book cover is pretty cool too. It was also recommended by my favorite bookshop owner. My favorite bookshop. That owner really likes this book. I think it might be her favorite as well. So I feel like I have to read it. And to continue the classic train, I have White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I think I probably said his first name wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is starting to become a book talk book. I'm seeing it a lot online everywhere. It's a romance book. A lot of people really like it. Obviously, everyone knows Dostoevsky for Crime and Punishment, The Brothers Karamazov, which I really want to read, actually. I do not have that one. But White Nights is a short one. I thought it'd be a good introduction to him. It's barely 200 pages. And I thought it'd be a good intro to him, so I can't wait to read this one. Oh, and I have a couple. You'll be seeing this in the next couple books. These covers. It's not gonna focus. Or like, I think they're cloth bound. I think that's the term for it. Just beautiful books. I have The Picture of Dorian Gray. All of you know this book. Some probably have read it. I can't wait to read it. The cover is absolutely beautiful. about a guy who really likes himself. That's all I kind of know about it. It's just about 200 pages. Most of these should be pretty easy to get through, but the next book I have is not going to be as easy to get through. It is The Count of Monte Cristo. A lot of you probably have heard this book as well, but oh my god, it is over 1,000 pages. I should be getting used to that by now with the Stormlight archive, but it's still going to be a big boy to get through. I haven't read a lot of classics, so I'm a little worried on it being a little slow. But I've heard this book is very funny, very charming, very dramatic in a good way, kind of like a theater. I think that's like one of the premises of it, with all the like Shakespearean masks and stuff. So I would like to get this done within the year. We'll see. Depends on when I start it. And then the last of these cloth bounds is Homer's The Odyssey. All of you know this one as well. Very influential for its time, for all time, basically. All of you know this one already. I don't think I gotta explain it. But I wanted to reread this because technically I think we read it in school. I know we watched it, I think, but it was definitely talked about a lot in school, high school. The reason why I want to reread it on my own is because Christopher Nolan is adapting it, which is just absolutely insane. That's gonna be an insane movie. I think they just released the cast and everything. I absolutely can't wait for it, and yeah, it's just gonna be crazy. I wanted to educate myself on the source material. I wanted to read it anyway. I love fantasy. I really liked it in high school, and yeah, this is gonna be a must read for 2025. I do have an interesting one here. It is I can't read this and now I'm embarrassed. Oh wait. Shuna's Journey by Hayao Miyazaki. Some of you might know this name. He is a director for a lot of Studio Ghibli movies, which I absolutely adore and put into my soul every single time I watch them. Masterpiece movies. And he actually wrote this book that I don't think a lot of people know about. And I did get this one on clearance as well. It is a manga about a completely original story as far as I'm aware. And I just flipped through a couple pages when buying it, and it's just very pretty. It's beautiful. I can't wait to, and it should be like an hour read. I'm definitely going to get this one done. And I kind of just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention to read this book. Maybe if you don't read a lot or you don't like manga, give this one a shot if you've seen Studio Ghibli movies. And then save the best for last. I already know it's the best. The Lord of the Rings. Look at this book. It is absolutely stunning. It is so beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen a prettier book. Oh my god. And it's always like, I always look at this book in stores to see like how the price has changed for it, because I got this years ago and I've been seeing it recently in like Target and Barnes and Noble and stuff. I got this for like $35 on Amazon. On the back it says it's $75, and at Target I think it's $40 to $60. It's one of them, but I feel like it's pretty cheap for a hardcover, and especially of like this quality. I I feel like most hardcovers nowadays are already like $30. And this one comes with two. I don't want to try to open this one hand. I don't want to ruin it. Paint or maps. One at the beginning of the book and one at the end, which is very cool. And then, as you're reading it, it has artwork by the author, by J.R.R. Tolkien, just filled with it. And I am disappointed I haven't read this yet. The movies are like my favorite movies of all time. I think they are perfect in every way. And I heard the book is just as good, probably better, a lot more lore. I absolutely cannot wait to read this. I had this for a while and I just haven't started it yet, and I'm disappointed in myself. This is gonna be another must read though. And then those are all my physical copies. There is a couple more that I want to read. After I finish Words of Radiance, I want to read Oathbringer, which is the third book in the Stormlight archive. It's The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, Oathbringer, I forgot the name, Rhythm of War, and Wind and Truth that just came out last month or 2 months ago. So I'm gonna wanna read Oathbringer. Maybe I'll give myself a break after the second book. We'll see, because I really want to finish these books because they're such a long journey, a long process to read them. They're all around 1,000 pages or more. And I also want to read Project Hail Mary. I kind of gave it to my friend because I got the audiobook for it. And I wanted to get my friend into reading. And I thought that'd be a good gateway because he likes sci-fi. And I know the book is getting a lot of praise recently. I know it's another kind of book talk book, but one of the good ones. And so I'm going to listen to the audiobook. I also know that audiobook of it, it's really, really good. And of Dungeon Crawler Carl. I know that audiobook is highly praised as well. So I want to read Project Hail Mary, Oathbringer, and I think that might be it. I have no idea if I'm actually going to get to most of these. It's kind of, I love reading, but like I said in the last video, I'm pretty slow at it. I did start this thing, however, I've been getting through Words of Radiance pretty fast by listening to the audiobook while reading, and I listen at 1.7 speed, which might sound fast if you don't listen to audiobooks, but slowly I kind of want to just keep going up and up. I follow a lot of booktubers who listen on like 2x, which is kind of crazy. I know it's only 0.3 more, but still. And 1.7 is like the highest I can go right now, but it's so helpful because I don't need to like think as hard, which doesn't sound the greatest because that's the point of reading a book. But I kind of want to do it with these longer ones just to be consistently getting through it. I read like almost 100 pages a day just because of that. I don't know how you guys are, but that's a lot to me. I'm not going to be doing that with like shorter books, White Knights, Stoner, Carmilla. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But yeah, that's kind of my system, I guess, right now. And I suppose it's a good gateway to go into Words of Radiance. I think I'm going to do a spoiler-free 50% way down with it, and then I'll do like a spoiler sign somewhere for talking about it more. So yeah, I rate and review and log all my books on Fable, which is like a sister to Goodreads. I think it's a lot better than Goodreads. You can rate like way more, like 4.75 out of 5 instead of Goodreads only allows you to rate 1 star at a time, which I think is stupid. And it's such like, I feel like a I feel like I'm on Facebook when I have Goodreads. It's such old. It's just so old. Like the UI of it, everything's so slow. You have to be exact when you're searching something up. Fable is just way better, a lot more active. There's a lot more posts that people can just ask questions, or there's clubs on it. Highly recommend Fable. We'll see if I can get my link in the description or whatever. You can follow me on it. We'll see if that works. But you can track your book where you put the number of pages it is, and then you can. It's my bookmark right now because I ran out of bookmarks. I don't know where they all went, but like I'm at, let's just say 500 out of 1,000. So then it says 50%. So I know I'm 50% done with it. Exactly 50%. So I guess a spoiler free of it would be. This is kind of, my friend wanted me to kind of do an update of Words of Radiance, and it's hard for me to do that because he still hasn't read The Way of Kings. But he just got done reading Mistborn, and he's almost to the Stormlight archive. And the way I would describe Words of Radiance so far is by comparing to The Way of Kings, where a lot of it's basically a really big slow burn. It's still really, really good. And I think I like it more than Words of Radiance as of right now. But the ending, which everyone says Brandon Sanderson's books, the ending specifically is like, will just blow your mind. It's just insane and so like huge. I think it's called the Sanderslanch. There's like a word for it, which is just crazy, but it's true with at least the Way of Kings ending. So like the last 100 pages of Way of Kings, which is just non-stop, just peak, is kind of all of Words of Radiance right now, like from the start, which is just insane. It's very fast paced. Almost every chapter, something just crazy is happening. There's a character dying, one of the main characters learning some new magic, or going to the other characters' like city, which they don't do in The Way of Kings at all, and like interacting with a group of people that you read in Way of Kings, and it's just so crazy that they're meeting finally in Words of Radiance. It's very, very good so far, and even without listening to the audiobook while I'm reading the Words of Radiance, I still think I'd be reading a lot of it every day. And I think it's gonna be hard to do that with another book, because I feel like it's just so easy reading Brandon Sanderson, and that's not in like a bad way. It's still like very complex and a very, very huge world and a lot of world building, but it's so like easy to just keep flipping the page and keep going through the story. It's like a TV show, and every episode ends with a cliffhanger. That's how I describe Brandon Sanderson's books. And I would like to make a video when I'm done with Words of Radiance that would be way more in depth review of it. But yeah, I think I might actually wait for the spoiler one, a spoiler review of it. I'll do a spoiler review of Words of Radiance and The Way of Kings when I finish Words of Radiance, which maybe will be done in a week, possibly. It depends how hard I grind out these next few days on it, but we'll see. And I wonder, let me know if the quality's better at all with the lighting. I tried the big light because someone said that the lighting could be better with just a larger, like a big light on, instead of just a few lamps that I have up here Don't have a lot of outlets out here either. I would have to move some stuff around when I eventually get better lighting, but big light is forbidden anyways. I don't think I'd want that, even if it did make the quality better. Hate big light, gang. Everyone hates the big light in this household. But yeah, this was just kind of almost like a goal video for me, just to put it out there to someone, to me I guess, to, hey, you said you'd read these and you still haven't, so, and now you can kind of make content on them, so get going. So that's a pretty big reason why for this video. Also just an update of Words of Radiance and kind of how my thoughts are right now, and I really want to make just a video dedicating to Words of Radiance and the Way of Kings soon. I might wait. No, I won't. I won't wait. But I'm going to make another one of it with my buddy Nick, who's going to read the Way of Kings very soon. And I would like to hear his thoughts on it as well. And I think that'd be a pretty cool video. Just two guys yapping about a great fantasy book. And yeah, that's sort of it. If you have any book recommendations or anything like that, please let me know. And yeah, that's it. I don't really have a script, or I'm not a very organized person, unfortunately. So sorry if the structure is kind of non-existent. I'm kind of just a professional yapper, still testing everything out. But I'm really liking it so far, and we'll see how the future treats it. I guess. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, and watch out for that Stormlight archive review. Way more in depth. It's not just going to be some bullet points. I want to be diving into it. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Okay, bye.